This is our final lesson for week 3, Lexical Analysis. By this time, you should have your notes with you and some pages of BDB related to Menoka or Menocot. And I will not go through this whole session with you, but I want to go straight to page 6, sample format for word study. And this is what we will follow at this time. So when I'm doing a word study, where do I start? Number 1 is identify the word. So letter A, select the word that will most likely shed light to the meaning of the text that you are studying. Letter B, consult a lexicon, either a BDB, Halot, or even your accordance. Number 1, check the etymology or the origin of the word. Locate the root word. Number 2, examine the cognates, common linguistic origins, and bring out similarities and differences. And third is examine the derivatives, related words that develop from the root word. Letter C, you summarize in 1 or 2 paragraphs the result of A and B. So what were your findings? You write it out and then put it as under letter C. So let's now look at an example from Psalm 23 verse 2 on your word Menocot. So Menocot is a noun, feminine, plural. In terms of its etymology, what is its root word? It's noak, which means to rest. Cognates refer to the other languages that it is related to. Like for instance, in Aramaic, in Phoenician, it means rest as well. So in Assyrian, nahu, rest as well. In Arabic, they gave us an example of a camel lying down or a resting place. So we can say and summarize that the common word for noak in here is rest, common definition. And then in derivative, we have your manoak here, a noun, masculine singular, and then menoka, so noun, feminine singular. So this is related to this one, menocot, as this is plural and this is singular. So to summarize, if you say you summarize, the root word is noak. It has cognates in Aramaic, Phoenician, which means rest. Assyrian, rest. In Arabic also refers to the example of a camel lying down and to a resting place. So your derivatives would be manoak and then menoka. So after identifying your word and summarizing the result of your study on the word, then you go to checking the references from scripture. Use the list from the lexicon or consult a concordance. If there are less than 25 references to the word, read, examine, understand, and surface the meaning of the word presented by each of the references. If you're using accordance, press the Hebrew word, right-click, click Biblia Hebraica, search for root, analytics, and then your concordance. So in the concordance, it lists the number of times a word is found in the Hebrew Bible. Psalm 23:2. So we have your menocot, and these are derivatives from Noah. Menoka, which is related to your menocot. This is singular and menocot is plural. And then your manoak is another derivative. Let's focus on this word. So you look and search the lexicon for examples of these words in the Hebrew Bible. So we have Numbers 10:33, Deuteronomy 12:9, 1 Chronicles 28:2, Ruth 1:9, 2 Samuel 14:17, Psalm 132:14, 132:8, 1 Chronicles 22:9, Psalm 22:2, Jeremiah 43:5. So what you will do is examine all of these verses and then try to come up or basically surface the meanings of this word, menocot, in each of these verses. So after you have examined these verses, then number 3 is group together the meanings and nuances of the word that are related, that share common elements along with the corresponding verses. So having grouped together the meanings and nuances of the word that are related to the term that you are studying, You now give precise categories or labels to meanings of the word that are similar or related. Wigram, Englishman's Concordance, categorizes the meanings of the word according to the 7 stems, like your kal, nephal, etc. You are free to use the common themes that surfaces as you study the word. For our case with Menoka or Menokot, we have 3: resting place or place to settle down, a place of security, peace of mind, and feeling of security. So in the examples in the board, you have your resting place that would be for a temporary campsite, Numbers 10:33, then a settled homeland for the tribes of Israel, that's Deuteronomy 12:9. And then final resting place for the ark, that would be Psalm 132:14, 132:8, 1 Chronicles 28:2. And for the second category, place of security, home or a house of a husband, that would be your Ruth 1:9. The Lord grant that you may find security, each of you in the house of your husband. And then freedom from enemies or political turmoil, that's 1 Chronicles 22:9. But you will have a son who will experience peace and rest, be a man of peace. I will give him peace from all his enemies. His name will be Solomon, and I will give peace and quiet to Israel during his reign. So in terms of the third category, peace of mind, feeling of security, in 2 Samuel 14:17, I thought too that the words of the king would be a comfort to me, for your majesty is like the angel of God and can decide between right and wrong. You clarify Jeremiah 45:3, the opposite of sorrow, pain, groaning, being worn out. So with these 3 categories, we have seen examples of this. So that's what you will do. Put a label to the nuances and meanings that have been grouped, and then provide an example with these ones. And number 5, summarize in narrative form and by categories the general meanings of the word. So your Menoka, Menokot generally can mean resting place, place to settle down, a place of security, peace of mind, feeling of security. Now, to what does Psalm 23:2 belong? To which of these definitions or meanings would Psalm 23 verse 2 belong? So would it be number 1, number 2, number 3? So surface the specific meaning of the word in the text that you are studying. Compare and contrast this with the more general meanings of the word. What do you offer is a proof that the meaning of the word which you chose for the text you are studying be preferred than others. What is the significance of this meaning to the translation and message of your text? So for Psalm 23:2, it would most likely fall under number 1, a resting place or a place to settle down. So for the ship, it would be a restful place to find water, a restful water, one that would refresh the ship. So it's more literal, whereas the second meaning, a place of security, and third meaning, peace of mind, that may not be what Psalm 23:2 is looking into. So Psalm 23:2 would be more of a resting place, a place where the ship can find water, refreshing water. So try to do this format in the word that you will choose to study. Identify the word, check references from scripture, group together meanings and nuances of the word that are related, give precise categories, summarize in narrative form, and then surface the specific meaning of the word in the text that you're studying.